What is your goal for 2026? If you do the math and you work through these sheets, you'll have the number. And that number is probably going to be how many leads do you need monthly in order to hit this goal? So there's a couple things you can do. In the workbook, there's a link to a worksheet that you can do. And I'm going to jump over and see if I can't get this to show up on my screen. All right, I think you should be able to see this, and I'm looking over to my left here so that I can get this up for you. All right, so this is the sheet. If you don't have the link to this, we'll put it in the chat, or we'll put it on the screen here. But this will give you a cool little worksheet over the last couple of years. And we're going to need to put a 2026 here. And then fill out this information. How many installs a month do you want to do? It will automatically figure this out, how many that is for the year. So if I put in here, I want to do 20, that means I need to do 240 installs this year. My average job right now is $4,000. So it will figure out the math here. Let me drag this down. So with those numbers, I should be able to do 960,000 over the course of the year. So just with those numbers in place, you can kind of see that. Now, from that, we need to figure out marketing budgets. So let's do this. I'm going to grab all 4 of these, drag these down, and that doesn't look right, does it? Change this to a 2. There we go. So if I spend 10% of my marketing budget, that's the number that I need to be spending. And we have another tool for this. Once I get through this, this will give you a good idea though, of kind of where you're at and what you need to be spending depending on where you want, what target you want to hit. So there we go. So obviously you can make a copy of this. So click File, make a copy, and plug in your own numbers here. But this will give you a good start. Plug those numbers in. You'll see exactly what you want to do. Now at the top here, I've also got this fancy little thing, which I will share a link to this as well. You can go play with this, but same kind of thing. So what is your revenue goal for this year? Well, it's $500,000. Let's say that's what your revenue goal is for this year. And my average project job, again, is $4,000. So with that in place, if I'm able to close 52% of the leads that come in, I should hit my goal. And in order to hit that goal, I need 20 leads a month, which is that 240 leads a year. I only need to close half of them at the 4K average in order to hit this number. So very cool tool that gives you a good idea that obviously you can go change some stuff here. What if we up our prices and we sell, have an average of $5,000 per thing. So the number of leads doesn't change, but now your conversion rate goes down a little bit. So you can close a little bit less jobs because you increased your price, less headache, maybe. And your average conversion rate is now 41% instead of 50. So very cool little tool. Either way gets you to the same thing. And then of course, on the left, it shows you overall marketing budget. So most of our clients now are putting 90+% of their marketing budgets into digital, into online, because that's where everybody's going to search. People are not going to newspapers, yellow pages. I don't even know if they still print the yellow pages or not, but they're not going to those things, right? They're not going to billboards. They're going to some grassroots door hangers, flyers, local home shows, and then the rest they're putting all into digital. So this is total budget, $3,300 in this case per month over all those channels if you want to hit these numbers. So hopefully that gives you some idea. So put those numbers in there. How many installs did you have last year? And as you saw in that sheet, there's previous years. If you have that data, fill in those previous years and you can start to see the trend. You can start to see exactly where you're at, and that'll help you with your forecasting. So you're not forecasting, we did 200K this year and we want to do 1 million next year, right? That's cool, but let's not go crazy and then not hit our goal at the same time, right? So put in these numbers. And then the one thing to consider here obviously is the average job. Should I maybe raise my prices a little bit to up that number and have a higher average job worth or transaction value, which then gives me a little bit more leeway on how many jobs I can close. If I continue to close jobs at the same conversion rate, then you'll have more money at the end of the year, which obviously sounds fantastic, right? So plug your numbers in here, make sure to put the past years. And then on that sheet at the bottom, there's actually a similar breakout. Once you have those numbers in place, it'll actually show you, the investment required, and has what your return on investment is. And the really cool things is at the bottom there, months to pure profit. So if you hit these numbers in in this example, 1.2 months, you'll actually be in a profit situation. Conservatively, because we do have costs, right? We have other things besides that, 2.4, 2.5 months in order to be in a profit situation there. So very cool little worksheet. And then of course that link to the other one works as well. So what is your goal for 2026? If you do the math and you work through these sheets, you'll have a number, and that number is probably going to be how many leads do you need monthly in order to hit this goal. So you have a place in the workshop or in the workbook for that. If you want to toss it into the chat, I'd love to know what your goal is as well. Put it out there, put it into writing and make it real. That definitely will help you start to solidify where you're going and then give you the opportunity to put things in place. So we're going to talk a little bit about that piece of it. What are the opportunities? What are the things that you need to do? What are the levers you need to pull in order to make this goal a success? Thanks for tuning in with us here at Window Treatment Marketing Pros. This was just one piece of the conversation, so let's keep it going. Click right here for the next part and we'll see you there. Subscribe for more marketing tips for window treatment and awning companies.